Good morning. Welcome to Hump Day. Yeah, Wednesday, February 23rd, 2022. I'm meteorologist Kevin Smith here again at the National Weather Service in Pocatello, and this is another edition of your weather hazard briefing. So really only two key points to describe the forecast here over the next several days. First, bitterly cold wind chills continue today. This morning, possibly into early this afternoon, readings as low as 20 to 45 below zero are still being observed at the weather stations out there this morning. We'll show you that here in a little more detail in just a moment. We're going to slowly, ever so slowly, introduce a warming trend here over the next several days. We're also going to pull back just a little bit on the ferocity of those winds. So wind chill situation is slowly going to improve. We're probably still going to hold below zero, though, for the next couple of mornings. But certainly the worst conditions expected this morning into very early this afternoon. Beyond that, snow is actually in the forecast again, returning Thursday afternoon to Thursday night across just about all of southeast Idaho. And I'll show you what we're expecting as a first look at accumulations here in just a moment. Taking a look at the outlook here, breaking it down by day and geographic area. Again, the color coding here really is all tied to temperature and wind chill. So moderate to major impacts depending on where you're located today as far as those wind chill values. We're seeing readings out there cold enough that frostbite on exposed skin can occur in as little as 10 to 20 minutes. So you definitely want to keep that in mind as you're headed out this morning, particularly the further north you go in the forecast area, particularly in these areas that we've shaded in red here on this outlook. So we slowly back off on those colors just a little bit as we go into Thursday and a little bit more as we go into Friday, but Thursday, snow showers returning to the forecast for all of southeast Idaho with accumulations to range between about 1 and 3 inches. I'll show you that here in a moment. But the weekend is looking just a touch warmer and pretty quiet out there with some high pressure returning to the region. Watches, warnings, advisories this morning, mostly for our area, focused on those cold temperatures and wind chills. So everywhere where we see the bluish, purplish light shading here, and that includes the Big and Little Lost River valleys down into the lower Snake Plain, including American Falls and Pocatello, and then all the way up to the Montana border and into the Teton Valley. A wind chill warning remains in effect for this region until 1 p.m. this afternoon. And you can see our neighbors to the north from the other Weather Service offices have wind chill warnings and wind chill advisories as well, with some even colder readings as you head over the divide into portions of Montana. Satellite this morning still showing this low pressure system that's part of this overall trough that's been with us for several days and has brought us snow here over the past several days. A little bit of a spin still noted here around this low that's now located down in Nevada. And with these clouds rotating around, you can still see some infiltration here up into our southeast Idaho forecast area with some of these clouds moving in from the south. And we may brush the southern and southeastern highlands with a few more light snow showers as we go into this afternoon and this evening. Not expecting anything over an inch, and not everyone is going to see accumulations out of this. So not a huge impact out there, but don't be surprised if you do see a few of those lingering snow showers down there as this low pressure system starts to finally move out of the area off to the east-southeast today and tonight. Now, how much snow are we expecting with Thursday's system? So we'll time this out for you in tomorrow morning's briefing and try to give you a little more detailed step-by-step look here. But total accumulations through the course of the day into Thursday night, expected to range from about a dusting to as much as 2 inches for most of the region. And it looks like the storm may favor these highland areas here to the south and east of American Falls, Pocatello, Idaho Falls, where a few readings of 2 to 3 inches will be possible. So right now, even into the Snake Plain, looking at a decent chance of over an inch of snow as the system moves through on Thursday. And we'll continue to refine these amounts here as we peruse all of the data going forward into tomorrow. Low temperatures shown on the left this morning. You're waking up to frigid readings out there across the region, well below zero for the northern half of the forecast area. And then over here on the right, these are wind chills. This is our wind chill forecast this morning, and we're actually overperforming these values in a fair number of locations. We're currently checking in at 47 below zero just to the north of Du Bois, with a pretty ferocious wind blowing up there. Readings about 45 below zero at this time up in the Island Park and Henry's Lake area. 23 below zero as of this recording just after 5 a.m. in the Driggs area. We're 18 below in Idaho Falls and about 18 below here at the Pocatello Airport as well. So overperforming our forecast just a little bit here with those cold readings, and certainly verifying that wind chill warning that is out. So please bundle up this morning. Please cover that exposed skin. Take care of your pets. Make sure they're not spending long amounts of time out in the cold air and the wind as well. High temperatures this afternoon creeping up into the double digits for most locations. We're looking at teens into the lower 20s, depending on your location. Some of those warmer readings for places like actually Stanley, surprise, surprise, down into the Sun Valley area and the eastern Magic Valley, probably exceeding 20 degrees for high temperatures today. So let's look at it again for tomorrow morning. Low temperatures again dropping below zero, particularly from the Arco Desert northeastward to the Montana border. Also over toward Driggs, where negative 11 is forecast, 13 below up in the Stanley area, cold in the Copper Basin as well. And then over here on the right, wind chill values, not quite as oppressive. We're not seeing as many 20 and 40 below zero readings here in the forecast, but we're going to be close on a few spots to our wind chill warning criteria once again, particularly out over the INL, where you can see we're forecasting about 21 below right now for wind chill, and also up here again toward the Montana border. We're not going to see the crazy winds that we've seen this morning. We've been gusting this morning over 50 miles an hour up in the Blue Dome area and over 60 just north of Du Bois. We're not going to see those winds continue into Thursday morning, and that's why these values have backed off a little bit from what we've seen over the past day or two, but stay tuned to see if we'll need a wind chill warning for one more day going into Thursday morning. High temperatures Thursday, again, heading for double digits, generally from the teens into the low 20s across the region. Low temperatures Friday morning, again, trending just a little warmer, little less oppressive out there. Still some readings below zero for a few spots, though. Friday afternoon getting up into the mid-teens to mid-20s. Readings of 25 to 27 degrees here, forecast down toward Jerome, Twin Falls, and Burley, and then trending a little colder as you head up toward Island Park with 19. Low temperatures Saturday morning, again, that slight warming trend continues with high pressure and quiet weather building in for the weekend. Saturday's high temperatures as we kick off the weekend. You can see some 30s returning here to the eastern Magic Valley and even up across portions of the Central Mountains. Salmon, Chalice, Stanley checking in above 30 degrees here on Saturday based on our current forecast. Still some colder air locked in here for the Arco Desert up into the upper Snake region. So remember cold weather safety, dress in layers, cover as much exposed skin as possible. Remember the hats and gloves. Limit your time outdoors. Again, if you're north of Idaho Falls, north of Craters of the Moon, north of Driggs, up across this region in particular, we could see frostbite in as little as 10 minutes with these wind chill values of 30 to 40 or more below zero. So please bear that in mind over the course of the morning and even into the early afternoon. And remember pets as well with these readings out there. Let's do a quick review before we wrap up here of our water situation. So drought does continue across the entire state of Idaho, with conditions ranging from abnormally dry to continued severe drought for portions of the region, as shown on this latest U.S. Drought Monitor graphic. How much water are we looking at in the mountains? So if you remember the last couple times we showed this image, the really wet period during December and early January was saving us. It was still carrying us as far as having reasonable amounts of water based on normal readings here up in the mountain basins. So looking at the latest graphic here, you can see lots of areas starting to creep down into yellow with readings here of about 75 to 85%. What that means is we're seeing 75 to 85% of the water equivalent that we're supposed to have for this time of year in those basins. But still a few spots that are green here and very close to 100%, which is the amount of water we normally see and would really like to see in those basins, particularly across the Central Mountains. So these numbers are trending down, certainly not a good sign for our drought. And again, we're really looking for those bigger storm systems to come in and give us some more precipitation to rebuild that mountain snowpack and send our numbers back up toward closer to normal for this time of year. How are things looking out into early March? Well, the 8 to 14 day outlook here from the Climate Prediction Center forecasting above normal chances of precipitation as we head out into that period. So that's certainly a good sign. certainly points toward an active period continuing and below normal temperatures. So a little on the cool side, also forecast out into early March. That's it for your hazard briefing today. As always, please feel free to reach out if you have questions, comments, or concerns, and have a great Wednesday.